Hello beautiful people of the internet, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am so happy to be back. It's been a while. I missed you. Happy New Year. Yeah, I have been away from my YouTube channel for some time now. Honestly, everything that has just been going on, the deaths, the uncertainty, everything, it's just been getting to me a lot, and I've just not been motivated to sit down to do most of the things that I like to do. That included my YouTube channel, but now I just had to kick myself out of that bed, sit up and come here and do this video. I promise I'm going to be a lot more consistent now, because I just thought myself, if I'm gonna do something this year, if I'm going to come out of this whole COVID-19 situation with something positive, it has to be my channel. Let's grow this community. So welcome. If you are new on this channel, you're welcome. We are a family here. We like interacting, so make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you leave a comment about anything. If you want to contribute on this topic, make sure you leave a comment down below. If you want me to talk about something, make sure you make a suggestion down below in the comment section. Otherwise, you are welcome, and let's get started. So for the first video of 2021, I want to talk about financial planning for the year. I think more than ever, it's just important now. If we have not been planning financially for the year before we start any year, I think now it's just imperative that we plan financially, because of all the uncertainties that are going on in the world. Like I already said, there are so many deaths, there are so many people being laid off work. What if tomorrow you wake up and the person that you solely rely on financially is no more? What if something happens and you are no longer able to provide for yourself, you no longer have an income? What do? I think it's just important for you to just prepare for all of those things, to just be ready, to make sure that, I know when disaster strikes, there's little that you can do, but I think planning ahead can just help give you a head start in case of those unfortunate situations. Story time. Sorry, but last week we had a meeting. I was actually negotiating this deal that I have been working on for a long time with a number of my partners, and we had this meeting with our clients. No, actually we are the client. Yeah, something like that. But yeah, so we had this meeting with this person and we were discussing. So initially the agreement was that we have to pay them in part payments, like in 3 installments. But then we had this meeting with them and they said, no, I can't accept like the part payments. I want cash. I want everything at once, all of my money at once. It was really bad. But then I thought that if I put away all the negative things or the negative impacts that this has on my business, I think this person is right. Like, this is not a time to take chances. It's just so important that everything is in order. You know what you want to do. You do things now than waiting for tomorrow, because honestly, I hate to say this, but nobody knows what tomorrow will hold. It's just so bad in the world right now. God help us, but yeah, let's get a head start ahead of these things and let's not be caught unaware. So hence the topic for today: financial planning for the year. Let's get started together. I know it's February, but we can still get started. I know most of you out there have not yet started, but I'm telling you right now, start with me. So I'm going to give you some tips that will help you be successful at your financial planning this year. So the number 1 tip is set and write down your financial goals. In setting goals is just one thing. I could be in my head and I could be saying, oh yeah, this year I want to buy a car. This year I want to start a business. This year I want to do this. This year I want to spend less. But there's something about writing those goals down that makes them more achievable. When you write something down, it feels more real, it feels more tangible. And when it feels more real, it becomes more achievable for you. You see it more. And the more you see it, the more you feel it, the more you feel that it's real, the more you're going to be employed to work towards it, and even to just, take steps towards achieving those goals. Because it's no longer just this daydream that you have. It's something real. It becomes real. Just writing something down makes it become so real. The next point is to simply get organized this year. I know there are so many of us, I'm guilty myself. We're not organized, we do things so randomly. You are going out, you're spending and planned spendings. There's just so many things that you're doing that you don't have to do. There's so many things that you are not putting into mind. Your bills. Are you tracking your bills? Do you know how much you are spending on electricity every month? Something as basic as electricity. Do you know how much you're spending on your groceries every month? Do you know how much you are spending on talk time every month? Get organized. Know how much you are spending. Know what you are doing. Help yourself with your money. Get more organized. And then the other thing that I can tell you that will help you get organized is to get yourself a software. Get a software that's going to, if you're not a tech person, it's okay. You can get a book. You can write down all your expenses. But if you're a tech person, a computer would really help, or even just your phone. I know there are a number of apps. I recently downloaded something. I'm probably gonna link it down below in the description box. I'm probably gonna link it down below. But I downloaded something that is very helpful. It tracks your spending. You get to just put in a few details, and it just keeps track for you. There are such apps. They're free. I did not spend anything. Maybe I spent on the talk time when downloading it, but that doesn't matter. It was basically free. I had to download it for free. It's on my phone and it's really helpful. So the other thing that you can do is to use Excel. Excel, I know, is very, very, very good when it comes to such things, keeping track of your spending and even calculating a lot of things. So if you are conversant with Excel, you can just write down all your spending. Let Excel help you to get organized. So basically what I'm saying is just to have a layout, an understanding of how you are spending, and keep your bills, everything that you're keeping. Okay, that reminds me, I don't even know, ever since I started renting my house, like, I think I've lost most of my house receipts, my rent receipts. Yeah, that's bad. But yeah, let's get organized. Let's get a box, get a particular place where you keep all of those things, so that in case something comes up and you have to retrieve all those things, they are easy for you to retrieve. So the number 3 point for today in your financial planning journey this year is to diversify your income. Oh my God, I can't even stress this enough, but I just don't think that one source of income is enough if you are trying to create wealth for yourself, if you are trying to achieve financial independence. So there are just so many things that you can do if you are only relying on one source of income. So you have to diversify your income. Try to invest in things that are going to be giving you an extra source of income. So sorry, I forgot what count I am, but I think that's a 4th point. Yeah, this should be my 4th point. So the 4th point is to set up an emergency fund. Please. I can't even stress that enough. As I already said in the beginning of this video, things are just so unclear. Everything that's going on is just risky. You know, living today in this world is just risking. It's just so bad right now. So set up an emergency fund for yourself. Okay, firstly, what is an emergency fund? An emergency fund is a savings account where you put money that is meant to help you in case of a calamity or unseen circumstances. Now, an emergency fund is not there to help you to pay your tuition fees. It's not there to help you to pay your rentals. It's not there to help you to pay expenses that you know you have to cover. No. It's there for unseen circumstances. For example, God forbid on anyone, but in case of a death, an unexpected death, if that person, you have to cover some funeral expenses, an emergency fund can come in handy. In case of a fire, just imagine your house gets on fire, catches fire. An emergency fund would be a really good start. You get laid off from work, an emergency fund is a really good way to start as you look for some other source of income, or just basically an emergency fund is there for emergencies, and it's very important. It's actually advisable to have about 3 to 6 months of your monthly income saved up in an emergency fund. Why is it advisable to have 3 to 6 months of your monthly income in your savings account? Because your monthly income is how much you are living off of. So if on every month you live off of 10,000 kwacha, it is important for you to have about 30 to 60,000 kwacha in your emergency fund, because in case you get laid off from work, an average person would take that much time for them to just settle down, look for some other source of income to bring up their plan Bs and everything like that. So that is why it's important to keep such amount of money away. Please, an emergency fund is not for you to use on your rentals. It's not for you to use on things that you know you are expecting. You're expecting to pay your tuition fees, and just because the time comes and you're like, okay, let me just go to my savings account, my emergency fund. No, you need to be very disciplined about your emergency fund. It is only for emergencies. So the last point today is invest in yourself. I like this one in particular because it has helped me a lot myself. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I've just not been really in the right state of mind with everything that's going on. It's really been getting to me. Like just last week, I had to deactivate all my social media accounts because it was just too much. I kept seeing these RIP messages. It's like every time I log into social media, it's the only thing that I see. So it was just getting a lot to me, and I needed to do something else for myself. I needed to just get myself out of that environment. So I've decided to start investing in myself. You can enroll yourself in a baking school. You could start swimming. You could start... So basically, there are just a number of things you can do. The whole idea is just to invest in yourself and make yourself a better person. That's the whole idea. Investing in yourself is meant to make you a better person. It's meant to help you in every way possible. It's time for you to go for that music class you've always wanted to do. It's time for you to go on that trip that you've always wanted to do. Okay, don't go on that trip. There's COVID-19. Stay home. But yeah, it's time for you to invest in yourself. It's time for you to just, grow your career. It's time for you to become more social. Yeah, some things that you can do to invest in yourself is even just get more social. Become more social by intentionally taking yourself to places where you're going to meet people who are going to help you and build you in your career, in your personal life, in your intelligence. Just intentionally setting yourself up in such places. It could be going to conferences, paying up to go to conferences. If you have a conference that's coming up in your town nearby or anywhere near you, or even online, and you have to pay a certain amount, please don't shy away from such things. Make sure you invest, get yourself that training. You really need it. It's going to be very helpful at the end of the day. I think this should be a challenge on every single one of us. We are staying home a lot. Most of our companies are requiring us to work from home. Most of us are working on rotational basis. So naturally, we have more time to stay at home. We have more time to just be at home and focus on ourselves. So let's challenge ourselves to come out of this whole thing with a new skill. Learn something that you've always wanted to learn. Get yourself to a gym. If you've wanted to lose some weight, if you wanted to gain some weight, like me, I want to gain some weight, get yourself to the gym, get yourself on that diet, get yourself things that are going to help to make you a better person and achieve those things that you wanted to do. I think above all else, of all the points that I've talked about today, on the financial planning for 2021, I think this is my favorite because it is also my personal goal to invest in myself. I want to invest so much in myself that I will come out of this whole thing as a different person. I want to intentionally do things for myself. I want to intentionally elevate myself and just not be the same person anymore. I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you have any contributions, if you have any questions, if you have anything, if you want to chat with me, if you want to laugh with me, or if you want to laugh at me, it's fine. please comment down below and let's get interacting, and make sure to follow me on my social media accounts. I'm also on other social media accounts like Instagram, on Twitter. I like talking about personal finance and all of those places. Or if you would like to follow me, please make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I'm going to leave all my links to my social media accounts down below in the description box. Otherwise, let's get planning.